Let's see the poem Sonnet 73 by William Shakespeare. Let's read it and see first of all. That time of year you may in me behold, when yellow leaves are none, or few do hang upon those boughs which shake against the cold. Bare ruined quails where late the sweet bird sang. In me thou seest the twilight of such day, as after sunset fadeth in the west, which by and by black night doth take away. That second self that seals up all in rest, in me thou seest the glowing of such fire, that on the ashes of his youthful doth lie, as a deathbed whereon it must expire. Consumed with that which it was nourished by, this thou perceives, which makes thy love more strong, to love that well which thou must leave along. Let's see the meaning of this poem. We know that Shakespeare is supposed to have written poems to either a dark lady or to a young gentleman. And in this poem, the writer, as usual, talks about love and time. That time of year thou mayst in me behold. So during a period of time in the year, you may behold, you may see, when yellow leaves or none, or few do hang, upon those boughs which shake against the cold. At one point of time during the year, we see that yellow leaves. Oh, there are no leaves. And then there is coldness. Bare ruined choirs where late the sweet birds sang. Some time ago, birds have sung, and maybe with the winter, birds are not around. In me thou seest the twilight of such a day. So the speaker actually compares his life with different seasons and time periods. In different seasons, we see yellow leaves or no leaves. In certain time periods, there are birds singing. In certain time periods, the birds are not there much. In me thou seest the twilight of such day. You can see twilight through me also. So twilight symbolizes near darkness. As after sunset fadeth in the west, which by and by black night doth take away. When twilight comes, it's sure that night and darkness are coming. Like that in a human's life also, there is a period where darkness creeps into our lives. Through old age, sickness, and death that happens. This second self that seals up all in rest. So one fine day, all the living creatures will have a sealed up position. They will rest. That is the that is the time they die. So this second self that seals up all in rest. So in darkness or when people sleep, it's like this second self. In me thou seest the glowing of such fire that on the ashes of his youth doth lie. And as a person, we all go near death, and still in our memories, we have the things that we have done during our young days. As the deathbed whereon it must expire, but all these memories, desires, and youthful strength will expire when we die at the deathbed, consumed with that which it was nourished by. The life, or we ourselves try to be nourished by our youthfulness, by our strength and beauty, all the activeness, all of that. But they are consumed by the end. We lose them, we have used them by the end of our lives. This thou perceived, which makes thy love more strong. But if a person can see this early, if a person can understand that, one day we will die, we lose our loved ones, to love that well which thou must leave a law. So that is a proper kind of love with more understanding. To love that well which thou must leave alone. So if we have this understanding, we love our loved ones, knowing the fact or knowing the reality that one fine day we will lose them. So this is not a naive or a simple poem, but a poem that rather talks about love at a deep level. It's also a poem that transcends or goes beyond the physical form of love or attraction. It talks about the self, love in a deeper way. So basically, throughout the poem, we see that the speaker invokes a series of metaphors to characterize the nature of what he perceives to be his old age. So, in the first few lines, we see he tells the beloved that his age is like a time of year. Late autumn can be seen when the leaves have almost completely fallen from the trees and the weather has grown old and the birds have left their branches also. Then we come to the point that his age is like late twilight nearing death. So it's like as after sunset has faded in the west, and the remaining light is also slowly getting extinguished in the darkness. And the darkness is likened or compares to the dead second sun. In the next part, we see how the speaker compares himself to the glowing remnants of a fire which lies on the ashes of his youth. So he remembers the ashes or the memories from the past, and he's using all good things that he had as a young man. On the ashes of the logs that once enabled it to burn, and now which will soon be consumed, or by that which it was nourished by. And in the next part, we see the speaker tells the young man that he must perceive or understand and realize these things, especially the fact that love must be strengthened by the knowledge that we will soon be parted from the person to whom we love. So, like the fire, our love, our youthful desires, our capabilities, all will be extinguished by time. But if it is real deep love with real understanding at a deeper level, it's much better. So here, as we can see, the writer deals with love at a very deeper level, making us understand a lot of things about love, life, time, and old age. Further talking about the poem, actually, we can come across these following points as well. So, here we can actually see the speaker's anxieties regarding what he perceives to be his advancing age. And he develops the theme through a sequence of metaphors, comparisons, and at a different level, he implies a lot of things. So, first of all, the way the writer talks about winter, it actually symbolically emphasizes the harshness and emptiness of old age, where he also tells about having no leaves around. And also, we understand that the boughs are shaking against the cold, right? Bare ruined choirs, bereft of bird song. So, this emptiness is highlighted. And also, we see how the writer deeply delves into twilight. It emphasizes not just the coldness or the chillness of old age, but actually the gradual fading away of the light of youth. It's like the black night is coming, it's taking away our light in our lives. And also, we see that the writer very successfully uses these metaphors of winter and twilight. So, winter is usually brings out by the end of it something good because spring and better days will follow. And after the twilight fades, also, dawn will come again. But in human life, the fading of warmth and light is not cyclical. Youth will never come again. And when darkness, sickness, and death come, we are not going to regain our youthfulness again, like the nature does in the cyclic seasons. And also, the image of the fire consumed by ashes of its youth is significant both for its brilliant disposition of the past and when the fire, as the writer suggests, is extinguished, we can't light it again. So here actually another important thing is that is the couplet, the rhyming couplet in the end of the poem. Actually, it sort of brings out and highlights the speaker's request for love. And it says that we will love well while we are alive with more understanding than we have now. We should understand we must live soon and our loved ones will also live soon. It's important to note that the couplet brings out this deeper thought at a very reflective level. No one actually loves twilight because it will soon be night, and everyone instead looks for morning. But actually, for nature, that is true. But in human life, darkness or death comes means it's end of something. So it gives, though it looks like something negative, it gives us a very positive thing because while we are there, understanding that we and our loved ones will live with that realization if we can love at a deeper level and that would be a kind of better thing than we do now. So, like this, as always, Shakespeare makes us think quite a lot about love, time, and life. After reflecting on the poem and thinking about the theme, the meaning, and the techniques used, such as the visual imagery, the Old English, and the reflective level the poem touches, you may also think about an setup question as a model answer on this. The question is, how does writer deal with life, aging, death, and love through this poem? So I think it is very clear that life is connected with nature, aging is connected with nature, and the writer uses the seasons and changes in the environment to comparatively bring out these ideas. And the writer also shows death as a destination, but throughout the life we lead, knowing the destination and loving at a deeper level adds more value to our love and to our people around us who love us and for whom we love. And this is not just a poem about love, but it is a poem that is covered with full of imagery and reflection. So you may think about these sides and answer the question with a proper introduction, content, and a conclusion.